passing thing is mostly a lie. We're pretty much just gonna fucking take the back. That's what Leglocks. But it's the context of passing, right? This is where it's your ability to, again, when you get into a passing position, like organize your variables. Like, do I have this bottom leg controlled? Do I have this top leg controlled? Right? Is there a free path to move my body? No. So then I'll work on his frames. Right? If I feel like, oh, his bottom leg's coming free, well then I'm gonna divert my hands from the frames to the leg. You know, and that's what I mean by order of operations. Now, when somebody puts a leg lock position on you, right? Your order of operations is generally going to be, especially in these positions we're going into now, heel safety, right? And that could be because your foot's on the mat, your knee's on the mat, or your heel is hidden with your knee pointed away from their hips. Inside or outside, you're pointing your knee away from their hips, you can have the heel, okay? So your direction will change, but that relationship will remain the same either way. Okay, so heel safety. If I'm standing, number 2 is balance, right? And then number 3 is I start to break down their action. So I work in that order. I make sure that my weight's in my heels. It's the first thing I think about. Eventually, it won't be something you think about at all. That's the whole goal. That's the reason why, especially your live drilling, your live training, right? Your rolling is like, it's rolling, but if you do a lot of live rounds where you're trying to impose an order of operations on yourself, you're rewiring your brain, and eventually you won't have to think. Like when they tell you, like here, I'm not gonna make you sit with that for a second. When they say like, you have to like not think when you're doing martial arts, that's not something you just like decide like I'm gonna stop thinking. That's terrible, right? It's something that you achieve, right? And even no matter what, there'll be people you roll that take that away from you. You know, you go train with an ABCC champion and like, you're gonna have to think, just to survive. But when you're rolling people that are maybe a little lower level than you can get to that point where a lot of what you're doing, you're kind of discovering it as you're doing it. But if that happens a lot, it's because you're so aware of the positional relationship you're in, right? And the way that you gain that awareness is by doing live drills where you impose orders of operation on yourself. This variable is what I need to focus on now. It's the underhook. He stopped fighting there. He's trying to get his knee in. I switched to there. I understand where the battles are, right? So in this case, that's our order of operations. So if we're live drilling this, right, which we'll do a little later, then I'm thinking heel, and then heel feels good, I'm thinking balance, start to kind of maybe think of a couple things at once, start to try to take apart the feet, right? While I'm doing that, if he reaps me, I can't get heel safety anymore. So that's where I'm freeing my knee at that point, okay? But let's say instead he goes outside action. Okay. So now my heel's safe, I have good balance, right? Could take apart his feet and get out, that wouldn't be bad, but at this point, he's crossed both his feet outside my hip, so I have an access point to his back. So now my order of operations changes from taking the feet apart to heel safety, balance, get an angle on the back, okay? So I'm gonna go hand to the knee, hand to the far hip, okay, and we're gonna rotate. When you rotate him, if you can push on his leg to free your knee, this is optimal. And if you like to smash pass, you can reach in and drop your knee to the mat and smash pass instead. Perfectly viable option. But if you want to go to the back, okay, we can insert our knee in the hip pocket and we can cover the hips with our hand, and it's a little bit of a club that's going to allow us to throw our torso over the hips as we fall to the back. Okay? From here, again, I can stomp. You can also John Wayne, but like I said, you lose people, you're sweaty. So stomping is better if you have the foot position for it, okay? So from here, you can see also his hips are loaded on part of my hips, but also on my arm. So I'm trying to create a shelf for his hips. The lighter his hips are, the better. So I want them off the mat, okay? So we're gonna stomp, and now we have our climbing options. Let's say this time we get him up real high, right? So we go right for the bottom shoulder. Then we just pull ourselves up to our elbow and we win the bottom hip. Okay, now I'm taking it. So let's do that again. So I'm cognizant, checking in with my heel, checking in with my balance. He's an outside ashy. I feel good, so I'm gonna attack. Knee and hip. Rotate him so you're looking right across his legs. Okay. Free the knee, and insert your knee into the hip pocket. Now you have that scissor. Block the hip, stay tight because you won't get entirely into his hips. You'll need your arm down. Stop. Block the hips. Look and see what's available. In this case, I can get his bottom shoulder. Pull myself up to my elbow. Escape to let his hip sink below mine. And I'm gonna lock it back. So, last time. Give it a shot.
Jiu-Jitsu, so more or less.